Hello there, everybody. This is Let's Rory, and I'm going to show you how to set up um, the new Sun Leopard textures. So there's two different ways of doing it. There's the right way, and then there's the wrong way? Question mark. Not really the wrong way. It's just basically if you want to have the transform, specifically the transform for where you turn from one material to the next. And then if you want your disappear to work properly and all that stuff, there are a couple of things that you'll have to do. So y'all stuff will probably not be as ridiculous as this, but um, so underneath shark, you'll after uploading the package, you'll get leopard shark. So this file right here is your main um folder that all your stuff will be in. So if you've already gotten rid of the disappear, or you've swapped out, or you're using one that doesn't use the disappear or the material swap, which like turns into water, you could literally just grab all of these and then put them in their respective places. However, if you want to keep the water transform, you will have to do a couple little things. Speaking of which, I'm going to duplicate this because I don't want to have to do it again. Um, so if you want to have like two different ones, you could just get whatever one that you want, duplicate it, turn the other one off, and then like rename your stuff. You can unpack it, which will actually make things easier. Um, like normally I don't have them in prefab form, but I made prefabs of all of them. That way you can, if you accidentally messed one up, you can just throw it back in there and still have that same full avatar and whatnot. Right? All right. So on this one, for the most part, all you do is you just throw all the materials where you want. I even threw in a little flame hair shader deal. For them, want that. I'll just throw it in there because why not? We got new hair textures, got new textures for most things. Um, and if you want to rep the group on the hoodie, I included a texture pack for the hoodie, which is so there's my crest, the Drunken Dragon crest, and then my Maker's Mark. All right. So that's the new hoodie. This is the old hoodie. You could still use that, but also, as you can tell, there is a bit of a shader update. So Payomi had a new shader update, and I was messing around with stuff, and then I kind of really like the way I got the shader set up now, which all of these are already set up that way. So you can just look at these for reference. But so yeah, so this is yellow at red default. Well, not, but if you want to keep the transform, which is mainly what this video is for, you'll go to shark, leopard shark, and then the textures. All right, so what you'll end up having to do um, is going to each one of these slots, and I recommend updating to the newest Payomi, which is 9.3.63. I actually can't wait till 10 comes out. There's a new Dissolve coming out for 10. I'm actually pretty excited about that. And so pretty much go over here, like, so this is mouth. And then you'll basically go over here and swap out mouth. And on here, swap out that one. This one you won't have to swap out. But if you want the new shader settings, you can do this. Like, I'm not gonna go like through all of the stuff in complete depth. Otherwise, this video is gonna be like super long. I already know it's gonna be long. So in the new shader settings, if you want to update whatever shader you're currently using or whatever your stuff is, you can come down here, and I already have it set up here. As you know, the way I do my brightness for my lighting is based off QMap and then post-processing. Post-processing! Ugh. Apparently that never got fixed. Okay. You come down here, go over here, be like, copy. All right, so I want to copy paste these shader. This particular thing is the main thing I changed. And you can come down, or come all the way down to shading, and go all the way down to QMap. The main thing that's changing is this is slightly different, and the QMap itself is different. So go down here, and then you go paste. Unlock shader. Since I'm updating these to the new version, I can see that got immediately brighter, right? So that's like pretty bright, which is fine. But I kind of didn't like how some of the metallic look happened, so changed it to this. So it is much darker in comparison, but with the brightness on the avatar and whatnot, works pretty good. It is very much a more realistic setting. However, if you want to go back to the other, I went from my Q map, which is this, but it looks a little too metallic-y. But you could just change the smoothness and pretty much change it to like that, or do the 0.8. But I really like the way this turns out in most worlds that I tested it in. It looked really nice. So swap back over to the tune map. I was like, also there is this hoodie. Oh, I don't need to unlock it. I should just immediately switch it. And it's like this looked a little bright. And that is because this is on replace. So this cube map wasn't even set up right. It was supposed to be on multiply, so it should have been that. But we're gonna go ahead and paste those settings. It should have been this, is what it should have been. But it was not. So you can crank up or lower the metallic. So if you want that more metallic look, if you want it to be shinier, you do there. But I would probably do like 0.125, and then probably like the same here. And then if you want it to be a bit brighter, you can either change this. Or I think this was, since this was on multiply, let's take away this multiply, and then it'll be about normal. Mix is fine. And this is actually supposed to be for the audio link, which I didn't audio link it. But if you want to audio link it, go down here and audio link it. But basically go down all this stuff. Update your stuff to the new shader settings. And then paste in that. But if you want it to be more shiny, use my Lancer Cube map. Because I ended up making this carbon fiber, which the Lancer Cube map works better for that. So the Lancer Cube map is more so for really dark colors. Like, so if I went back here and change this to this, it works way better on clothing for the highs and the lows. But it's just like, oh, that's like kind of. Actually, no, I kind of fucking dig that. That works perfectly, actually. Oh, yeah. Nope, I like that. We will keep that. That looks perfect. And like I said, let's code all these. And then, you're going to go down here to the individual clothing. You're like, all right, this is the pants. It's like, wait, hold up. Did I ever put the pants in there? Hold on. Or is this a... Oh, yeah, that's right. This is controlled by... some of these are just mat caps. So you would just change it to red, change that to red, you change this to red. These are all mat cap driven on these pants. Is using basking layers for that. Again, we're going to paste this. This wasn't even animated. That explains so much. But I want to switch this back to this, because that QMap works so much better for clothing. Actually, no, I kind of like that softer deal for the metal. Yeah, metal's either it's either too bright, too shiny, or a bunch of other stuff, but there's also like this, which works pretty well for metals as well. Did that switch? Yes, it did. So these are skyboxes. So that's what Q maps are. Like for instance, if you wanted to, let's see, I'm gonna switch it to this, right? Then I'm gonna click on this. It's gonna bring this up, and then you can change whatever skybox you're using. So then you can kind of see how the avatar is going to be lit in that particular deal, because the way, like I said, the way I set up my avatars, the cube, because they're all cube mapped, the world basically dictates the way the lighting affects the avatar. And one of the main things with avatars, or one of the main sources of lighting, is the skybox. And like I said, like the default is this underwater. You do this, which is really bright, which is the reason why I took that off, because the sun's over there, or the horizon. Not even using this one. You have a celestial bottom. This is supposed to be sand, but I made it a little too metallic-y. It's supposed to look wet and stuff. Alright, so the other important thing, apparently I'm going ahead and fixing some of this. To see, like, this one wasn't animated, which explains why it never got brighter like everything else. Um, okay, I think that's too shiny, so we'll go back to tune. Right. And if you want the effect to be like less strong, you can do the blend alpha. But this is really going to dictate how that Q map is really affecting the clothing. Right. I'm hoping that you're tracking and understanding how all of that works. But that's basically what you. Jesus. That's an old ass uh, deal. Graph press is for that transparency look, which is what you use for like glasses and stuff. All right, you got that. All right, so say you want this particular lightning effect, right? So what you will have to do is you will have to go back to shark, leopard, and then go to the particle add-on, and then this. So where you will put this is important. Should have put this at the beginning of the video, but you know, whatever. Say open up the avatar management, particles, disappeared particles here, and you want to put it underneath this toggle activated. Right? So currently it's just emitting from the ground and emitting from up here. And that is because it is not fully set up. So what you'll do is you go to body electricity, go to shape, a skin render here, you will put body. So now all those particles will emit from the body. The mini will also be body. So now those will emit from the body randomly everywhere. And then the tail. You guessed it, it's probably the tail. There you go. And then there's one more thing you gotta do. So I need to go to props. Water magic. Just click on water magic. You come here. Or no, you won't go here. Wait. No. Ooh. Was it on props? Wait. Is it on water form? Oh, it's on water form. Okay. It was here somewhere. So if you want to be able to turn off these with the other particle systems, otherwise this will just turn on. You can just add here, add object toggle. And you can just have that to turn off. However, if you don't even want to do that, you could just put that underneath particle systems and you won't even have to make the toggle. Technically. Because waterform turns off particle systems. And since that is underneath particle systems, you can do that. So technically, you could just now remove that if you wanted to. The way I have mine set up is I have it under there, but you want to put it, yeah, we'll say particle systems. So say you want this and you want to put this to your blue girl and you want to have it hue shiftable and all that jazz. Is since these are all somewhere else, you're going to go to lightning. Update this. So we're going to select this material. This one, pretty sure is Lightning Mini. So you can change this one specifically for here. And you can just put lightning. And then they'll be blue, and so they'll match. Now, this one is technically a newer one. This one, if I'm not mistaken, okay, what we're gonna do is gonna select the material. We're gonna Control D. So now we'll have 3. I'm gonna throw these into here, and the reason why we're gonna do this is so we can have our default tiger or leopard and our tiger separate. Make sure we're on 3. Change this to blue. That's like the main thing you have to do. Put each one of these. Do like light blue. And then that should be it because the emission is based on whatever the color is. And then it has a hue shift. So this will now work with all the other hue shifts. Right, so this one also works with the hue shifts. Yep, hue shift there. See, this one doesn't really do anything because most of this is actually controlled by this. Oh, no, it's actually mostly controlled by this, right? Yeah. Although, while we're at it, so let me make that. Because normally I usually use the base color, but I did a gradient basically on this. So now you have your two sexy shirt girls. I'm pretty sure that's it. So this one will not do the disappear, but this one will. Of course, if you like swap out all the textures, like same with the hair, like if you need a reference to see what it is. So the reason why you can't just put on the material, because the animation for this is using the materials specifically in here. So the animation is using these particular materials. So you have to change the material that it is animating. Now, technically, you probably could get away with deleting these, put this in here, and then put it in there, but I don't think that it actually work. Like at all. But yeah, so there you go. I think that's it. Okay. Well, I still ended up making a 30-minute video. All right, till next time.